Americans eat a ton of beef. But do we really know what's in our meat? And is it really that good for us? In the 20th century, we took cows off of grass and put them into commercial feedlots. We fed them corn, growth hormones, and antibiotics. Now, more than 80% of all antibiotics are used on livestock due to unsanitary conditions, creating dangerous superbugs that can harm people. Feedlots also produce massive amounts of waste. Turns out, cheap meat is actually very costly for the animals, the environment, and our health. Fortunately, there's a new breed of ranchers in search of greener pastures and a more righteous hamburger.
The cowboy culture originated here. As I am the descendant of my great-grandfather who started this farm, these cows are the descendants of his cattle herd that he brought with him. This is White Oak Pastures, our family farm. Been in my family for almost a century and a half. And my daughters are the 5th generation of my family to farm this property. My father took over the farm right after World War II. I feel sorry for my father a little bit because it was on his watch that the post-World War II industrialization occurred. The centralized, commoditized, industrialized production system that my family and my industry went to was wildly successful. The stated purpose was to make food cheap and abundant and safe. You know, people don't need to go to bed hungry. Unfortunately, there were unintended consequences that occurred on the backs of the animals for animal welfare and on the environment. Good animal welfare merely meant that the producer didn't inflict pain and suffering and discomfort on the animal. And that's just not right. You know, good parenting does not mean shutting your child up in a room that's 72 degrees. Good parenting means you let them express instinctive behaviors. The radical transition that we made to what we're doing now was really not difficult in terms of production. In fact, it was fun. You know, we really enjoyed returning to the old ways. But the financial part was the difficult part. We were very, very fortunate in that we had enough blood to go the distance. And the business has been profitable since. What I do here is far less efficient. But I also know there's no comparison in the animal welfare and the impact on the environment. Now, there was no burning bush. I didn't get spoken to from above. The first thing I did was I made up my mind to give up confinement feeding of corn to cattle. I gave up subtherapeutic antibiotics, and I gave up hormone implants. But I needed to do more, that I really needed to give up chemical fertilizers and pesticides. But after I gave up those tools, I realized how valuable a polyculture is. Nature abhors a monoculture. Nature wants a smorgasbord of animals and plants living in a symbiotic relationship with each other. Today, we raise 5 different mammal species and 5 different poultry species, plus pastured eggs, plus certified organic vegetables. We've come absolute full circle to the production practices of my great-grandfather. And all the species that we produce we endeavor to emulate nature. I really do enjoy seeing my animals and thinking, this is a good place to be a hog, or this is a good place to be a cow, or a good place to be a dog, or a good place to be an employee. We've got a very strong local community, and we have a restaurant. We cook it here on the farm.
2 1866s, medium rare with American cheese and no onion.
1866 burger is our signature all beef patty. Well, when you have a grass-fed beef, the meat's a little bit leaner. Well, it's a lot leaner actually. With the regular beef you get in the store, it's going to have a lot more fat in it. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
I want to produce it here, process it here, cook it here, serve it here, eat it here. It's certainly my goal, and therefore a big part of my vision.
Sun is shining when I step outside. I look around and I close my eyes. Feel the warm breeze on my face. Realize that I love this place and I love you. You know I do. I look out at the cotton window, see what's up barefoot running through. I see his eyes and look like mine, smile like his mama's brighter than the sunshine, and I love him too. You know I do. Well, it's times like these I realize I've already got my peace of mind. Take my hand and don't let go, and we'll see how far this dirt road goes. And I love you.
To learn more about this program, please visit pbs.org/.